Previously on Supersons. After a string of accidental crimes, Dan and Jake were thrown into Arkham Asylum by Batman. After a riot allowed the brothers to escape, Jake learned that Dan had joined the Legion of Doom to orchestrate their escape. Jake declared that he couldn't be a part of this anymore and that the Supersons were over. That is, until Mike was visited by Dan in a gimp suit and Jake from a Watchman-like Earth with a message. A message about an ongoing crisis. It's been a year since that fateful day. Mike has been on the hunt to reunite the Supersons. Bitch at table 3. I can't spit in her food. Good morning. Can I start you off? Wait, Mike?
You've been hiding in Alaska. Isn't that sort of cliche?
Why are you here?
Long story short, whatever's going on has caused some sort of multiversal tear, and something bad's coming. You gotta get back to podcasting with Dan. You have to be the Supersons again.
You know, he's with the Legion of Doom. He's literally calling himself Big Daddy and fighting the Justice League. Besides, I don't think I can do the whole podcast thing after all this time. I got a wife and kids here, Mike.
We can talk about Booster Gold to get you back into the swing of things.
Oh, hell yeah. Booster Gold, baby! All right, Mike. You got me in. You pulled me in. You knew the magic words. What are we talking about? What Booster Gold story are we talking about? What do you got for me?
We're telling the greatest story never told, Jake.
Ah.
The Booster Gold story.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yes.
God.
This was like a walk down memory lane for me because I haven't watched this show in ages. And I don't actually think I'd seen this episode previously.
It's such a good episode.
It was a good episode. The voice cast is incredible, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. But first, I'm going to... Mike, what do you know about Booster Gold?
Absolutely nothing before watching this episode, and I don't think I ever saw this episode as a kid, so this was completely all new to me. Every bit of it. I had no idea Booster Gold was a character other than hearing you talk about Booster Gold previously.
Booster Gold, baby! All right. Booster Gold. Real name, Michael John Carter. Was born a poor boy in Gotham City in the 25th century. During college, he was the star quarterback of Gotham University's football team. Granted, I don't know what other sports calls anything quarterback, but this is a comics podcast. Catch up, guys. And he was on top. This team was on top of the world. He was on top of the world. But his dad convinced him to start throwing games so his father could get money. Michael only agreed because his mother was sick and he needed to pay for her operation. And after that was done, he was done with it. He was fine. And then his father convinced him to do one more. And that was the day he was finally caught. And it broke his mother's heart.
That stinks.
Yeah. His dad's a dickhead.
Yep.
It gets even worse his dad is even worse in the aftermath of 52, but that's a different story. But so good old Booster finds work after a small jail stint at the Metropolis Space Museum as a security guard. There he learned a lot about the Earth's greatest heroes, the Age of Heroes. So he had an idea. Go back to the 21st century, 20th century, 21st, doesn't matter. Comics are weird. And he's going to become the world's greatest hero. He's going to make it big.
You know, I'm surprised that football still exists in the 25th century.
Yeah.
Like, are the helmets any better? Like, are they stopping the concussions yet?
I would hope they at least wear, like, neck. Honestly, guys, football is a lot when you actually like look at people after their careers.
Oh yeah, it's a destructive, violent sport that does not leave people better off.
All of them are all of those pros are like, yeah, I'm not letting my kids play this.
Yeah, welcome to Supersons, a football podcast.
All right, well, yeah, guys, Booster Gold football star steals a bunch of stuff from said museum, steals Rip Hunter's time sphere, goes back to the 20th century, saves the president, wants to be called Gold Star, but is misheard and gets stuck with the name Booster Gold, often called Buster. He hates being called Buster Gold. Which, plays into this episode a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's other things he stole was his RoboPal Skeets.
He stole Skeets
along with the time sphere and a few artifacts like a Legion flight ring and a Brainiac 5's force field belt, even though they're the 30th century, which I don't know. Time, guys.
They're not like prototypes of the versions that are out in the 30th century.
No, because Brainiac 5 made his belt. I don't know, man. Brainiac 5 also made the rings. I don't understand why Brainiac 5, a 30th and the 31st century citizen, has all his stuff in a museum in the 25th century. Who knows?
That's weird.
So sometimes it's like I've seen it. I think I've seen it where he stole his suit, but I don't know. I don't know all the background. Every every origin story update. I just know like the original one, the important ones.
Yeah,
yeah. So whatever.
So keep going.
His backstory barely changes.
Like between like different iterations of the character.
He gets onto the Justice League International with the help by like a publicist who sets up a thing where he fights the Royal Flush Gang and it impresses the League. And it like tarnishes his reputation. And that's all done by Maxwell Lord. But that's not important for this. But you will see Maxwell Lord played by Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, I forgot that he was playing him. That's awesome.
Doesn't look like Pedro Pascal at all.
That's fantastic.
Or is it pronounced Pedro? I think he said Pedro in an interview. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mandalorian, guys. Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mando.
He's best friends with the second Blue Beetle, Ted Cord. His twin sister, Michelle, also becomes a hero, and she does become known as Gold Star. And he's mentored by, at times, Rip Hunter, who Booster doesn't actually know is his own son. Probably named after Ted Cord. I'm just interjecting. I'm pretty sure his name is Theodore Carter. All
right.
Whatever. So, Mike, who's the creative team on this?
Well, this episode of Justice League Unlimited was written by Andrew Kreisberg. It was directed by Dan Reba. Booster was voiced by Tom Everett Scott. Skeets, everybody will recognize as the voice of the legendary Billy West. Dr. Tracy Simmons was voiced by the definitely guilty Aunt Becky. The elongated man. It's great to what?
It's great to hear that out loud.
Yeah. Elongated man voiced by Jeremy Piven. And this is the greatest story never told.
I know nothing about Jeremy Piven.
I don't either.
I just know that I know his name. I'm like, that sounds like an important actor.
I liked his delivery. I mean, Andrea Romano was the obviously the voice casting specialist on this episode. She's like a wizard with voice casting. She's just nuts. So it's no surprise that all the voices are great.
Billy West cast as everyone.
Guilty. Yes, Billy West is everyone. Oh man.
All right. So as I remember this episode, the episode opens with Booster Gold saving some people, which is quickly followed by like showboating, which he's known for.
Yeah.
And then there's that kid who asked him for his autograph.
Who's definitely one of the twins from Rugrats.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Because it's the same voice actor.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's what's her, or wait, is that
So you're telling me that was Phil?
I think that's not oh my god, why am I blanking on Bubbles' voice from the Powerpuff Girls? The voice actress that's like everyone. It's not her.
Not Tara Reid.
It's another no, Tara Reid. That's who I was blanking on, but it's not. I knew it wasn't Tara Reid. It's another famous voice actress like that though that has done like a ton of different voices and will do like young little kids that are boys, like, but female voices, like adult female voices work well for that. So is it the woman that voices Bart Simpson?
No. I'm Googling this.
Yeah.
The woman you were looking for is Kath Soucie or Sose? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say her name. But
she was in the Santa Claus. You know, the Santa Claus.
Right, that's right. Oh
you
my
know,
gosh, the movie,
the fine
Tim
print,
Allen?
the claws. You know, she voiced Lola Bunny in Space Jam.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's everywhere. But
Young Justice, she was Queen Mira and Joan Garrick, and let's see what else. Ezra Bridger's mother in Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, how about that?
Who the hell is Tuffy? Wait, hold on. Tom and Jerry had a crossover with Willy Wonka.
We are getting wildly off topic.
What is this? What? Why?
Is that a Warner Brothers
Tuffy
property? That's kind of connected to
Mouse.
DC, right?
Okay. Everyone's gonna hate this episode.
All right. Well, let's get back to things, and they won't.
No.
No, you're not gonna get back to things. You're gonna keep like rambling on IMDb, like.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
All right, and then the kid's like, "Oh, I thought you were Green Lantern,"
which is just hysterical on so many levels.
You know, guys, Buster Gold. This leaves Booster very disheartened, so he goes to Martian Manhunter to ask for better assignments to help him get famous and rich. To which Martian Manhunter's like, "This is the type of shit that's why you don't get sent out on the good missions."
Yup.
Because everything Booster wants to do is market himself. Right. Market himself. Toys, shirts, everything. That's why he's great.
Yeah.
And in multiple stories, this was how he started, and then he becomes an actual hero, but he has to keep pretending he's an idiot.
Oh my god.
It's great.
Yeah.
The only few people figure out that he's like a legit hero, and one of them being Batman, but that's not in this. That doesn't happen in this.
Right. No, that definitely doesn't happen in this.
If you watch the episode of Justice League Action with Booster Gold as the main character, it's in there. You'll like it.
Okay. Yeah. But that definitely, you're right, that definitely does not happen in this episode. Something very opposite happens in this episode.
No. So, and then, what was it? Mordru, the evil wizard?
Yeah, Moo, the evil wizard.
Moo, the evil wizard.
That's what he calls him at the one point.
I'm going to steal all your chocolate milk.
But that's what Booster calls him at.
Yeah, Booster. Everyone's like real scared, and Booster.
Yeah.
Booster goes like,
he's like, let's go fight this Moo.
So all the big guns are in the fight, and then they start calling in more heroes. And even Booster's like, and Martian Manhunter's like, okay. So Booster's included in this big fight.
Yeah.
And guys, you will not believe the role he has in this. Oh my god, it's so perfect. I'll just give you guys 3 seconds to guess it. 1, 2, 3. And if you guessed that Booster punched Mordru right in the face for stealing all that chalky milk, you were wrong. Because Booster and Skeets are on crowd control with Elongated Man.
Yeah.
Mike, do you know anything about Elongated Man?
I know that it's a really lame name for a superhero.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like they could have. Oh man, I was gonna make like a really bad joke. I can't even do it.
Do it.
I mean, they could have elongated the name choosing process.
Oh boy, you shouldn't have said that joke.
I think we just lost a lot of listeners.
Yeah. Well, that's our show, guys.
Supersons, the football podcast.
Yeah. Supersons, throwing sports. Sports balls go really far. I am a football guy. But did you see how Carson Wentz got just
I don't even want to talk about that because I'm so mad at Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not even gonna. I can't go there. I'm mad at the refs. I'm mad at the commentators on TV that like didn't even acknowledge it. Sorry. Moving on. Yes.
Super Sons and the Eagles podcast. Oh, people are gonna love it. They're either gonna love this or just turn it right off. They probably turn it right off because I'm pretty sure like 90% of our listeners are just friends with Dan.
I might also just cut half this, but
no, you're keeping it all.
Keeping in all the random Philadelphia Eagles talk.
Yes.
It's totally not related.
It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah. Oh man. All right, let's keep going.
It's been a year.
It has.
So yeah. On crowd control with elongated man. Booster tries to talk back to Batman. Batman's like, no, you're staying on this. So Booster's like, all right, I'll accept it.
Right.
It's fine. I'll just do it. And he's like, and he pretty much does. He's like, come on guys, let's go.
Right.
And elongated man's just like, doesn't stop complaining. It's like, I'm better than Plastic Man. You know, I once was in a stakeout. I stayed as a vase in this guy's house for 3 days. And Bruce is like, no, you didn't. And, you know, elongated man's like, you're right. But who would want to do that? And he's like, oh, I'm also a detective, so I'm basically better than elongated Plastic Man because I'm also kind of like Batman. And then
talk about the overstatement of the century. Elongated man is like, yeah, I'm the next Batman, but better because I could stretch. Imagine if Batman.
Elongated man also had like one of the. Oh boy, God. He had a very nice, very happy very, very loving relationship with his wife. But that, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
You got a backstory right there?
Oh God, no, okay. Guys. Identity crisis did not happen. We'll forget it ever happened. Don't worry about it. All right. So
what happens after that?
Booster's like, man, just do your job, and he's like, stop itching. And then because everything in this episode is going to be ironic, Wonder Woman comes and gets elongated man to help in the fight, and Booster's left there all alone, and he just, and then good old Skeets is like, maybe they needed a vase. Oh, Billy West, you could deliver me packages any day. As long as they're jokes. Because nothing gets delivered in Futurama. But anyway. So, Mike, I'm blanking a little bit. What does Booster do?
So Booster sits on the curb, very unenthusiastically directing people like traffic, like a traffic cop.
Hey, doesn't like Skeets actually put a traffic light up?
Yeah, Skeets like turns into a traffic light or like puts a traffic light up, and I don't understand. It's like when did this show come out? Like the early 2000s, right? It's just like that, like late 90s, early 2000s, like weird.
Yeah, it's
cartoon
mid
humor.
2000s, I think.
Yeah, where it's just this like weird cartoon humor where it's like the end of the world is occurring because of Moo and. Like Skeets just decides, like, I'm just gonna make a yellow light and then a red light and make people slow down and stop.
They're from the future. They know it's gonna be fine.
Right. But then so everybody stops the red light and then they just kind of all like stand there for a minute and then they're like, forget this, and then they all just start screaming and running anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Booster complains and Skeets is like, well, maybe it'll turn out all right. Oh yeah. Oh God, I forgot about this part. That then, yeah, what appears to be Batman starts falling from the sky, but it's actually Superman. It's half Batman, half Superman with Wonder Woman's voice. And Booster asks if Super Batwoman is okay, and is told to get back to crowd control. A crying boy. Is it the same boy from earlier?
No, it's a different one.
But I think it has the same voice.
Probably.
They got a different voice actor. Yeah. So crying boy approaches our hero and is screaming that his aunts are in a burning building, and Booster sees this as his grand golden opportunity to save the day and be a hero. So he flies right in and he's calling for, he's like, ladies, where are you? Like, give me a shout out. And he doesn't hear anything. And he looks to his left and sees a ant farm sitting on the bureau or something like that. And so he grabs that and he brings it back down, and, mild disappointment. But listen, he could look at it this way. He could have saved 2 beings, but he saved probably hundreds of beings. That's the way I'm going to look at it. So
he saved lots of lives. And
yeah,
Skeets
exactly.
is like, what? Booster's the man.
Well, except he doesn't say that. He says Green Lantern is the man.
Well, no, the boy says that. Skeets praises, he's like, Booster's the man.
Oh, right. Skeets. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then, oh man. Right. So then how did they segue to this next part that,
okay, so
oh yeah, Booster, that's right, because Skeets is saying like your chance to like continue being a hero is going to come right up, and then they cut to like Booster directing like an old woman on how to get out of the
it's
city.
technically crowd control. He's like, okay, you do this,
right.
You go this way, go down the street, and then the earth just rips in half. I remember this.
Well, yeah, and
then it hits it's a laboratory, and he's like, oh shit. Flies in. He's like, hey, is everybody okay? And they're like, oh no. 2 of the doctors are like, oh no, that one doctor, Dr. Simmons is still in the lab. So he goes to help. And our hero finds Dr. Simmons, and to Booster's surprise, she's actually okay. And he's like, she's also beautiful.
Right. And then it was weird because then they do the literal like the camera move that they do in like movies where like they start at her legs and they go up to her face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a kid's cartoon. Like, you want to dial that back a little bit?
Here's the thing, guys. All of these things, they're not supposed to be like all those superhero movies and all that. There's things in there for adults. All these superhero cartoons, there's things in there for adults. Like there's jokes about the Flash being the fastest man alive, and that's why he doesn't get women.
Right. Yeah.
But
oh god.
The kids just want to see the punching, and all of that. That's all the people the companies care about is if the kids are into the punching, because that'll sell toys.
Though I do like that, even though unfortunately they did that shot of her, I do like that when he asks her for help, she's just like, nah, you can't science as hard as me, bro. So get gone.
Like the first thing she says when she wakes up is, we're all going to die. Yeah. Because at that moment he's like, maybe my luck's turned around. No. And Booster's like, she's like, yeah, you can't help.
She's like, you're useless.
So Dr. Simmons starts explaining what's going on, and Booster's just pretending to listen. He probably could understand the science, being from when he's from, but he's not listening.
Yeah,
he's just checking her out and be like, yeah. He's that guy to date, ladies.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work. He's a real piece of work. This character. Like, I did not like this character for the majority of this episode.
But he's great.
Yes, but he's
for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'd agree with that maybe. But yeah, I'll just say he's a piece of work.
Yeah. But he also goes around and fixes time, but that's a different story. Like I said. Right. But so as she's explaining, she's like, oh, me and my boss were looking into alternative energy sources. And long story short, it went bad, as all science and cartoons does. Unless you're in the universe of Dr. Stone, where all science is good and it's going to benefit society. It's not sorcery. My weebs out
Right.
there, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, change that. I love that anime.
I'm definitely not one of those weebs.
Yeah, you haven't been a weeb for a long time.
I don't think I ever was a weeb.
For Dragon Ball Z, you were.
Yeah, but I feel like Dragon Ball Z is like the show that like doesn't count toward being a weeb because everybody watched it.
It's a gateway drug.
Well, yeah, but that's my point is that like I feel like if the gateway drug doesn't get you, you're not a weeb. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's like trying something once and then like you don't try anything heavier, like so you're not a druggie. You know what I mean? It's just like you just tried something once. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is like you tried smoking pot that one time and then you don't do anything else. So like that's just it. And like
most people,
and you haven't done it since. What was that?
Like most people.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And like most people aren't weebs. So that's the way I see Dragon Ball Z. It's just like as a kid, I just saw it as another cartoon because I didn't understand that like anime was an entire animation style in and of itself.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, okay.
Closest I got to a weeb was Tenchi in Tokyo. I watched that show.
Okay. But so basically, Dr. Brown, her boss, has a black hole in his chest, and he's sucking everything into himself.
That's not a metaphor, people. That's not a metaphor. He's not like a lady killer. He just literally has a black hole coming out of his chest. I love the like completely like jumping the shark physics of that he's just walking around with a giant black hole in his chest.
And there's also so many things that escape it.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make any sense what goes in and what goes out. There was a period in time where I saw a bunch of like metal things and cars going in. I'm like, so is this like a Magneto situation? But then like other metal things don't go in. I'm like, what are the rules
and no
here?
people go in until later.
Right.
Like people just run through it.
Yeah.
And then so Booster tries to call Martian Manhunter to explain the situation, and he's like, no, do your job. I don't want to hear it. Just do it. So Manhunter just hangs up on him, and Booster does the only thing he can think of. All right, thanks, John. If you think I can handle it by myself, I'll do it. And he does. He does it. He just goes through it. End of story, guys. But no, Simmons says that shows that there's a way to fix this. There's a pre-made inhibitor collar because for some reason she knew that he was going to have a black hole in his stomach.
You know, I didn't even think about this until you brought it up. That doesn't make any sense that she would have that prepared. And then Booster's like really concerned because she refers to Dr. Brown as Daniel, and in his mind this implies some sort of relationship. So he asks, and good news, both the doctors are just friends. Yeah.
And she asks, she just looks at Skeets and is like, Can he detect gravity anomalies? And Booster just points out to Dr. Brown's right across the street. They don't need to do anything as they're walking out of the building. He's like, hey, that man is very slow. And he clearly has control over his body, as we will see. Because
that's
he
another thing I wanna
turns
get
and
into,
everything.
Right. He's like, I can't control it, and then he totally controls it, but it's fine.
Yeah, like he can control his body. Like if he wanted to, he could just like look up into the sky, like lay down on his back,
right,
and be like, guys, whatever happens. Like him walking around is just making this thing stronger. But so instead of like, I mean, they just have to put a collar on the dude. So they're like, Booster's like, I'll fly us both in. And then he tells her to hide because bringing her to the bringing her right to the danger and then being like, hey, go hide somewhere. I'll take care of this.
Instead of just not bringing her into the danger in the first place.
And what happens from the Mordru fight? Like, I know it spills into this, but like, what happened?
Yeah, it's I can't remember what happens, but I feel like it's like the camera pans like above the whole city, and you see that like Mordru has turned into like a giant man on a giant dragon. If I was seeing that correctly, or I don't know if that was just bad animation. I think it was that he was supposed to be really big.
Yeah.
Because he's a wizard or whatever, right? Or he's like the Dark Lord. Is that what they call him?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And then, oh, that's right. And then Booster makes his first shot to actually try to get the collar on the doctor and gets a car dropped on him, which must be fun. So yeah. And then wasn't it around this time that like a bunch of stuff started going into the black hole and like a telephone booth goes in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, a bunch of stuff goes in, but no people. Don't like people run like right by the black hole or something around this time?
Yeah, they do. Like,
they run like right by it on like the left side. I feel like, and I'm imagining it in my head again. Like they like tangentially they run by it.
He literally walks past an ambulance, and
yeah, and
both
the
ambulance workers or EMTs just run the other way. They leave the person that's in the ambulance. Turns out that's a woman giving birth.
Right. Yeah. And then Booster has to try to boost that baby out.
Yeah, I mean, and Skeets is help.
He has Skeets for like a Wikipedia article on how to cut up
some clean sheets. Boil some water.
Oh my goodness.
And thanks, Green Lantern.
Right.
But then he flies off to look for good old Tracy Simmons. She doesn't even ask to be like, he's not wearing green or black. His costume is not green or black.
He doesn't have a ring.
Yeah.
There's no indication whatsoever that he should be Green Lantern.
Yeah, like he's wearing blue and gold. He's got
like they might as well have just been like, thanks, Spider-Man. Like,
guys, here's the thing. At this point, there's only 2 Green Lanterns that we've really seen in the show, this like animated universe, and that's John Stewart and Kyle Rayner.
Right.
And Kyle Rayner in his first appearance looks like Hal Jordan, but it's really weird, and that's in Superman the animated series. And literally the next episode, he's, changed to his more, comicsy appearance. But
right.
And then it's John Stewart.
What's the Green Lantern that you guys hate?
Green Lantern that we hate?
Isn't there a Green Lantern that you hate?
Hal Jordan's a dickhead.
Yeah, but there was another. Anyway, keep talking.
But so the main Green Lantern,
Guy Gardner.
No, we love Guy Gardner.
You love Guy Gardner? Okay, I knew there was one that you like really loved or really hated. I couldn't remember which.
Everyone in comics books hates Guy Gardner.
Oh, but you guys love Guy Gardner.
But
okay. Guy Gardner is the best Green Lantern. At me. I know nothing of which I speak, but I'm just saying it anyway because it's fun.
But so this blonde-haired man in a gold and blue suit does not look like either of. Maybe because he has a ring.
Wait, Booster Gold has a ring?
Yeah, he's got a Legion of Superheroes flight ring that he stole.
But who's now that I think about it though, like who's even looking at that ring? Like
no one.
Who's like. Yeah, like who's getting the day saved, and then they're like,
gold,
"Wait, does this guy have a ring?"
Gold
he's
on
Green
gold,
Lantern.
guys.
Yeah,
this is his original, like a version of his original suit. Like it's got the pop collar.
So pick it back up. You were talking about how the pregnant lady says, "Thanks, Green Lantern."
So yeah, the pregnant lady's just thanks, Green Lantern. Booster's like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. And go look for Tracy. Okay, so the black hole in Doc Brown's chest is getting worse. Well, has gotten worse. Like,
right.
Simmons is getting sucked in until Booster saves her, and he has to blast the subway entrance just to stop.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, some rubble blocks up the black hole.
Granted, why would the rock stop the a black hole? But cartoons. But so
Yeah.
I mean, as is standard in just the hero's journey, the Booster's gonna get the girl, and he's about to kiss Dr. Simmons, and Skeets points out that Dr. Brown is in the subway.
Yeah, Skeets has some big C-3PO energy in this scene.
Big C-3PO energy.
But
they're both gold.
Yeah, Skeets is like, sir, I fixed the negative power coupling on the main reactor.
Yep.
Or whatever the hell C-3PO's line is in Empire. You know what I'm talking about.
And then, I know what you're talking about. Into the subway we go, and into the black hole a whole train goes.
Right, because the rubble could stop it just fine, but a train, it can eat that right up.
Yeah, and that's definitely got people on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
we
God, I
literally
didn't
see
even think about that. That's terrifying.
We see the driver, the conductor.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, God. It's so bad.
He goes right in there, and then Booster has to jump out of the way into the other tracks, and then he gets hit by another train.
Right.
And he just kind of gives up. He's like, he just hints that he was a loser.
Yeah.
And he walks towards Simmons defeated, only realizing that Doc Brown is near critical mass, and into the fray they go. And
let's not cut short the fact that Simmons totally gives him a major pep talk, doesn't she? Right there, or is that later?
I think it might be later.
It is later. I'm remembering now.
Later.
It's later.
But just as Booster's about to put the collar on, Mordru's magic turns a building into a monster.
Yeah, that was so out of left field. I understand that he's a magical dark lord, but the episode has spent no time explaining him. So for someone like me that doesn't remember half these characters, other than the big players, I'm just oh, okay, he can just turn a whole building into a walking monster from Alice in Wonderland.
I mean, all magic is chaos, guys. Toss according to your Witcher.
Yeah.
So,
but doesn't it look like something out of Alice in Wonderland? The way it's got legs, the animation style. It looks like they just pulled from that inspiration.
For anyone who's played Pokemon Sword or Shield,
yeah,
it looks like the Gigamax.
I haven't even played the game, and I know what you're talking about. What is it again?
It looks like the Gigamaxing or Gigantamaxing dragon. It's a steel type dragon,
right?
And he turns into a giant building.
That's right.
He turns into a skyscraper.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
Now.
So it's a thing. So the building's about to the monster building's about to monster house Dr. Simmons and eat her. So once again, Booster has to go help her, but he's getting his ass kicked by the building.
Right.
To save them, Doc Brown actually turns to suck in them out of the way. He saves them, but at a grave cost.
Yeah. What else goes in there when he saves them? I can't remember.
Skeets.
That's right. Skeets goes in there. I thought there was something else too, but no, you're right. It's just Skeets goes in there.
And I think telephone poles. I don't remember.
Yeah,
not telephone poles.
And it's for a robot. It's pretty violent how Skeets goes in too. All his covering is getting peeled back, and you're seeing his circuitry getting torn up. It's pretty depressing.
And then Booster, it's hitting. He's hitting critical mass, and Booster's I can't do this.
Yeah, this is the pep talk.
He just he admits to Simmons and himself that he knows he was a loser. He was a loser in his time. He's a loser now.
But he comes to terms with the fact that he's a fraud. Yeah,
he's a fraud. He only came back because he wanted to be, to regain what he lost.
Yeah,
that reverence.
Right.
But Tracy's Tracy's he said he has to save them. He's the only one who can. No one else is here.
Yeah.
He is. So Booster allows himself to get pulled in as the entire city is getting sucked in as well. And halfway into the black hole, Booster gets the collar on and Doc Brown is just saved.
Right.
Dr. Simmons rushes towards her friend and then helps him up. And then the black hole reverses and Skeets returns unscathed.
You mean, yeah, and then he burps a black hole?
Yeah, he burps a black hole. He's
like, oh, sorry guys, I had too much Taco Bell. Like, it's just an entire black hole.
Yeah, guys, it happens.
Yep.
And then Tracy is trying to flirt and cheer up Booster, but Booster's like, yeah. And he walks off, kind of defeated.
Right.
And Skeet says, oh, based on her biometric readings and, you know, I do believe you sir, have passed your chance to kiss the girl.
Yeah, she was Myron.
Yeah. And the Mordred fight has ended by Elongated Man.
The Moo fight.
He's getting praised while Batman scolds Booster.
I can never call this character anything other than Moo Moo. He's Moo Moo. He's the Dark Lord Moo Moo.
Guys, Mordred's a chump.
Yeah, that's why he's the Dark Lord Moo Moo.
Yeah. So Batman scolds Booster, and here it comes. What we've all been waiting for. Hey, excuse me, Green Lantern. And Booster's not having it this time.
Yeah.
He turns out it was Tracy just making fun of him. And then they go on a date while Elongated Man is left to clean up.
Yeah.
And he just... Elongated Man kept on saying squeaky wheel because the person who complains will get recognized.
Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah, and then Booster's like, squeaky wheel, buddy. Squeaky wheel.
This was such a cheesy episode of television.
Yeah, it sounds like the way we talked about it sounds like a goddamn mess.
It kind of is, but I was fine with it.
But it's well written.
It's well written mess. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, you know, what would you say your favorite part was?
Yeah, good job, Andrew Kreisberg. It's a well written mess.
What would you say your favorite moment was, Mike?
My favorite moment. It might have honestly just been the moment I realized that Skeets was Billy West. Like, I know that's not like a story moment. I'll come up with a better answer, but I just...
Nah, you're good. That's good. That's good.
Because I love Billy West. I love that I love that I was like watching this episode and I'm like, wait, why does that sound like Fry from Futurama? I'm like, oh, it is Fry from Futurama.
Yeah, and Skeets delivers some good jokes, guys.
I think Skeets just kind of stole the whole thing from me because he's just that, like, it's like everybody loves a droid with personality, like a robot of some sort with personality. Like, it's just a funny concept in and of itself. And then when you have him making like the snarky comments on the side, like, it's just fun stuff to write. So if I was writing an episode like this and I knew a character like that was going to be in it, I'd probably try to write it the same way. Probably not as well, but just because it's just fun. Like any moment that Skeets is making like some smart comment, it's just, I like that kind of stuff. What about you?
My favorite moment was when Booster is just holding the unconscious Dr. Simmons, and he's like thinking, man, my luck must have turned around.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up and she's like, we're all gonna die. So everybody, here are some suggested readings. Yes. Either of Booster Gold's ongoings, the whole event of 52. Let's see what else. Justice League International, the original series, the original version of it.
Right.
I mean, you could read the new 52 one, but I mean, it's not really like a satisfying thing. Like, Booster Gold's like has his own mission there. He's not like, his whole mission is to make sure that Superman and Wonder Woman don't hook up.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, he I mean, it wasn't supposed to happen, so you know, he's there to fix time, but doesn't really work. Oh, and what else has he done? Has he been in? Let's see, another suggested readings. Heroes in Crisis, where he's one of the main characters. I can't remember what the storyline from Tom King's Batman is called, but that one. Lots of stuff. Love Booster Gold.
You know what I did
Love
like?
him.
You know what I did like about this episode? I like how very quickly in the beginning it's like, oh, there's the Dark Lord Mordru is attacking, and then the whole episode is just like, nah, don't worry about that. We're gonna focus on this guy instead. Like,
lots of pratfalls.
Yeah,
and
yeah. So I like that it was just like a complete side story with a small side character. I like that kind of stuff's fun. Branching off,
but in like the clearly like he's dealing with the more obvious threat.
Yeah. But at the same time, dealing with like tons of really like seemingly mundane stuff for a superhero.
Yeah, like he really earns his stripes as a hero.
Yeah, and he does things for the right reasons in the end, which is the important message for the kids, for the kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a fun episode of Justice League. I don't think I ever saw this one when I was a kid, if I really think about it, but I definitely enjoyed it. I needed some optimism in my day today, and it was a very nice lift when I watched it. I was happy about that.
So you just came into you watched it today, and then came into my diner, demanded I record with you.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
So you didn't plan.
Somebody needs to do the show, Jake. Somebody needs to do the show.
Well, yeah, I think I am. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to do this show again.
All right.
God, guess we have to go get Dan, huh? We got to get good Dan.
I mean, any idea where he is at all?
The Legion of Doom's creatively named base, the Hall of Doom. It's in Slaughter Swamp.
That sounds awful.
Well, Mike, remember, you can't spell slaughter without laughter.